fields and kiss each other. It's like very, very like first primitive like story of man and woman about Adam and Eva. And it's real thing. It's not a dream, but it's made like a dream. As for me, I think that there are four things, four dreams in the Omirbaev's film, and he shows after these episodes how main hero wake up. In the same interview in Asia Kino, Darijan Omirbaev described that when he was young, he tried to take cherry from trees outside of the road, and somebody tried them, and he felt the fear. And this sense of fear, he rebuilt in this thing. First dream in the film Kairat appeared after the sense of fear, when hero with punishment for picking a cherry. He go into his room, to his house, and he's going inside, and so on and so on. He's looking from the window for some people who are staying together. And then he saw like brave men who are looking, who took my cherry, something like this. And at this moment he wake up. Important thing, fear. It's to show fear is a way to show inner sense, inner world of the main hero. Another dream appeared after betrayal of Indira, this thing when maybe she slept with this Rambo, I remember, something like this, another guy in the train. And it's also before going to dream, it's something like sin when he is going among trains and so on and so on. It seems like a dream, but it's not dream. Another dream is when he went to the park, went to the Ferris wheel, and near him is staying his mother, and he's stuck on the top of this Ferris wheel. And this is a reaction to betrayal of his girl, Indira. Maybe, I think so. Maybe it's a sense of how hero, he didn't know about betrayal, but he feels it. And that is why maybe it's a way to convey in a sense that something very bad, sad happened in his life. The third thing, when we saw the dream, it's after beating. Do you remember that some young men decided to beat him? They are going to some construction building and they beat him, and then we see this important and very impressive scene of birds who are flying away. And after this beaten scene, we see the funeral. The funeral is a dream when the main hero is lying down on his room, and mother and Indira is speaking about in which house should be his corpse. And it's also very sad sense after, I think, after not beaten, but maybe after death, which can happen after this beating. Fear, betrayal, death. And last dream, I'm not sorry, I'm not sure, maybe I will ask Darijan, is it a dream or not, but it's a long shot, which is very typical to Darijan in the railway station, when we saw floors, empty rooms, and so on, and only when policemen say, "Oh, look, he's sitting here," like they want to catch up him, and in this moment the main hero is waking up. I think it's a idea of loneliness and also the idea of power, of some dictation, something like this. Strong negative sensings which are going outside, stressed hero, and Darijan Omirbaev showed his inner feelings, inner world in these four dreams, which are very looks like by aesthetic, surely, by shooting images for reality, but this is the dreams. And I think Kairat, it's most interesting by this mixture of dreams and reality. Let's go to the next film. It's The Road. film that is this film, for me, it's completely dedicated to the inner world of the main hero. You know, the protagonist is a director who, having discovered that his mother is ill and in a serious condition, that is why he decided to visit her and go to the village. By different circumstances, this way took 3 days, and during these days in the road, he felt we see his feelings, his thoughts, and it's like mixture of reminiscence, fantasies, and sequences from his previous film Killer. The main hero director thinks about how to do the final shots, how to create this image, how to make it in better way. Omirbaev is showing how film comes to life in the mind of a director. And it's not only find the final scene for Killer, it's only a reflection to the Kazakh New Wave. You know that Kazakh New Wave began from 1988, and as any film movement, it usually goes not more than 10, 20, maximum 15 years. And in 2000, when Film Road was made, it was like 10, 12 years of the Kazakh New Wave. And as it was done in French New Wave, Omirbaev makes reflection about Kazakh New Wave, about themes, and that is why we see Amir Karakulov as the main hero, like director. We saw Sergei Kaprimov, he appears like a historical hero, and also we see the idea of how Omirbaev created his film Killer, and this mixture of different films, different directors, is a good reflection to Kazakh New Wave, and also the main thing is how the idea of film appeared in the mind of director. And I repeat that for me, it's absolutely a reflection of the inner world of the hero. What we have in reality, we have in the beginning, when he spoke with his wife, and the end, when he came to the village and saw all his relatives and so on and so on, and the funeral of his mother, that it was ended. It means that during this film, Dejan Omirbaev, I think he moved to the idea that step by step, from his early film later to his late films, he moved from showing external world, big world, to the inner world of the hero. And the same citation from Gilles Jaune, the article which was published in magazine Positive in France, he wrote, "The pretext of the film is based on the proven narrative system, a journey through space, which is also, of course, an inner journey through time, that of memory, imagination, reveries, and projection into the future." And I think in this way, Dejan Omirbaev is very close to the theory of Gilles Deleuze, who wrote about the second part of his book, Cinema Image. And also Gilles Deleuze wrote that the main characteristic of the cinema after the Second World War is the work with time and with a mixture of the plot. And in this way, Road is absolutely Gilles Deleuze film. And my conclusions. From early films to the late films, Dejan Omirbaev changed the way of intersection, or the way of mixture or showing connection between big world and inner world. In the very beginning, in Journée, it's in Journée, in Cardiagram, and I think that's all. It was more moving. Other films, it's also moving. For example, Kairat began with the theme which Journée finished, like how he was young boy and now he became adult, and he's moving on train. But first, it was like moving over borders, from small world to large world, from small world to world of dreams, and so on and so on. Second step, then inner world of the hero, his experience are transmitted as a rule through dreams. And it began in Kairat and it continues in all his films. Kairat, in Road, in Sugar, even in Student. It's very interesting transmission between today life in Kazakhstan and history. And the third step, when we see how artist, director, we see the inner world, this inner world prevails over the outer one. And I think it's more it's characterized film The Road and characterized the last film Akin, the point when we see some episodes from real life, but most important thing is the inner world of the artist, of the director. That is all. Thank you so much for your attention. Женя,
да, я здесь. Ага. Значит, спасибо огромное. I suggest that we can have a short discussion, and it can be either in English, ou vous pouvez parler français, je traduirai à Gulnara, voilà. Donc c'est pour pas bloquer les éventuels étudiants qui veulent parler. Так, Гульнара, соответственно, я сейчас предлагаю людям, значит, je ne sais pas si quelqu'un veut commencer par rebondir. Oui, Anthony.
Si ça t'ennuie pas,
non, je traduis, il n'y a aucun problème.
Parce que mon anglais est assez déplorable. Merci beaucoup, Gulnara. C'était absolument passionnant. Cette dialectique entre monde intérieur et monde extérieur est vraiment une entrée passionnante dans l'œuvre de Daria. J'ai peut-être juste un tout petit point de désaccord, même si le mot est peut-être un peu fort, ou plutôt d'une interprétation peut-être un tout petit peu différente sur La Route, puisque Gulnara a dit, je crois, à un moment donné, que c'était un film qui montrait comment un film naît dans l'esprit d'un cinéaste. C'est pas tout à fait comme ça que moi je l'interprète, puisque si on dit ça, il me semble qu'il y a forcément une intentionnalité derrière, alors que c'est un personnage qui pour moi ne contrôle pas grand-chose en fait. Il n'y a pas vraiment d'intention. La seule scène que j'ai pas eu le temps